What could be more fun than playing Brawl Ball, Heist, or Gem Grab with your best friends? Crushing those same friends in Solo Showdown, of course. 20 of the top content creators and pro players enter the arena to fight for bragging rights and the sweet championship belt. So pick your brawlers, load up your gadgets, and grab those power cubes. This is the Showdown Throwdown.
Hello and welcome to Showdown Throwdown. We have got an amazing tournament coming up. It's all Showdown all day. My name is Falcone. This is my good friend Ark. And Ark, I think things are about to get messy.
Yeah, I honestly cannot wait for this. Some of the best content creators and pro players in the Brawl Stars scene are coming together for what is going to be an absolutely epic tournament in Solo Showdown.
It is indeed, and we have got some very cool twists that make this tournament special. So, first semi-final, we'll have the first 10 players, the second semi-final, we'll have the second 10 players, and then the final, we'll have the top 5 from each of those groups. Then comes the final, and this time, only one can win. We'll be combining the players' scores, both in standings and eliminations, and the top player will go home as champion, and of course, we'll get the amazing belt.
The road to the championship is even more challenging because of a special rule here at the Showdown Throwdown, where a player must use 7 unique brawlers over the course of their 7 games. No repeats allowed in the semi-finals and again in the finals. So if you play a brawler in game 1 of the semis, you cannot play that brawler again games 2 through 7 until we reset in the finals. This is the ultimate test of versatility when it comes to those brawler picks. Players are going to need to demonstrate some good game planning and perhaps even save some of the strongest method choices for the later rounds to capitalize on the elimination multiplier, whilst considering the maps that are best suited towards each brawler's playstyle. Players will earn points each game based on their placement and total number of eliminations. Points are awarded as follows. In 8th, 9th, and 10th, you will get yourself 0 points. In 5th, 6th, and 7th, it's 2 points. In 3rd and 4th, it's 4 points. If you come 2nd, it's going to be 6 points. And a first place finish will get yourself 10 points. Players earn points based on their total eliminations, but as the rounds progress, eliminations become far more valuable. In games 1, 2, and 3, it's 1 point. In games 4, 5, and 6, every elimination is worth double. And in the final game of each match, there'll be a triple multiplier for every elimination.
So the longer you survive, the more points you get. But the further into the match that we get as we head into the later rounds, kills get worth more points, and then for the final round, even more points. So you want to get those eliminations for sure. Not just for points, but also for power points, for upgrades, for all of that good stuff.
This is the Showdown Throwdown belt, and look at just how amazing that is. The glistening, the gold, the diamonds. Whoever wins that belt is honestly going to have some serious bragging rights.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd be strong enough to wear it, frankly, but it is looking good. I'd definitely love to stick that on my wall. Well, Ark, let's meet the players for our first semi-final. We've got Ash, Benton, Bruno, Crying Man, Echo, K-Manu, Nat, OJ, Ray, and Tom, all about to face off. Ark, are there any names that particularly stick out to you as ones that might particularly thrive in Solo Showdown?
I gotta say, OJ definitely springs to mind as someone who's definitely gonna have a bit of an edge, I feel. Tom does spend a lot of time also in his videos doing Showdown, so I'm kind of keen to see what he brings to the table today. But the map order here, and Skull Creek is gonna be the first map up. So yeah, very keen to see what these content creators choose to bring to the table first.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see this Solo Showdown meta develop, and I don't think we're going to have to wait long, Ark. We don't have long to speculate. The first match of the first semi-final on Skull Creek is going to start now. Here it is.
Here we go, then spectating first then from Ash. He's going to go straight and pick up his power-up. Benton going with Tick is an interesting choice. He's going to contest that box on the left-hand side. Yeah, so we got Shelly so far, we got Stu, we got Tick as some of the brawler choices in our first map.
Now, Stu was a brand new brawler at the time that these games took place. You're not going to be seeing Bell. These games happened a little while back, and Stu is new, so the fact that they're risking playing Stu, it's quite big. It goes to show just how powerful Stu was immediately at launch. Ash sticking back, not getting too close to Ben Tim, staying away, not wanting to try and risk getting a kill or getting killed. But OJ with BB is making some moves. He's going after Tom, and Tom is launching those suitcases. But BB pushing him away. That's not what he wanted.
Not at all. Tom is sitting on the 4 power-ups, and Ash is trying to make his way down the map now and evade some of the tankier options. But at the moment, I think he's in a good spot just to kind of keep surviving. Look in the middle here. I don't think anyone knows, obviously, because Keimani was lurking in that bush as Rosa, and with 7 power-ups, he is a huge threat for me right now.
Yeah, 7 power-ups is a very big deal, and Keimani could just sit in the center and not worry too much about being pushed by the gas on the outside. Yeah, just gonna deal with the Mr. P turrets as they come in. Nat and who's the Mr. P on the right? Nat and Tom both wrapping Mr. P, but Nat with only 1 power point is gonna just get destroyed by Rosa. Although Keimani is very weak now.
Fireman on the bottom here is lurking too. He's got the speed to his advantage, of course. Ray rocking the 2 power cubes. Ben Tim gets the takedown there, nicely done. He's going to be trying to survive on. He's going to be struggling to do so, I feel, as Tom and Cryman go for the pinch. Get Tom to the takedown, and he will get a power cube for his troubles.
That's it. I believe we are down to our final 3 players, and Keimani's still looking really strong. Oh, 4 players remaining. Didn't see Ray in the corner there, but Ray's so weak, and Keimani just needs to push up a little bit for a very easy elimination. And of course, don't forget, Ark, eliminations are worth tournament points, so every single one counts. Having a large amount of power points early in the match is a big deal, as Crying Man just about stays alive, and Keimani going to find the elimination.
Tom there trying his best, but I feel his suitcases are kind of tickling Keimani. So much HP, he gets the takedown. A fantastic first round for him.
That was a lot of points for Keimani. It has to be said, Ark. And it just goes to show in Showdown how important getting those early power-ups are. Rosa sat in the center of the map in the grass with 8 points when none of the other players had anywhere near that many. It had Rosa in such a powerful position. Let's take a look at some of the best moments.
Oh no.
Ooh, Crying Man.
That's one thick Rosa.
Yeah.
You're done, Tom. You're done.
I know I'm.
Rosa's thick.
GG.
You're done, Tom. You're done. Or the trash talk has started, Ark.
Yeah, I feel it's going to keep flying as the games continue on. But right now, yeah, Keimani is in a very, very dominant spot. Tom surely behind though on 8. I'm not surprised to see him up there. He's a very, very accomplished player, as is Crying Man. But as you can see, it's very, very challenging when you've got different brawlers in different areas of the map. But all the brawlers that we saw in that last map will not get played again. As far as that player is concerned, they're going to have to rethink what their strategy will go in moving into their next rounds. But the player that played the brawler that we just saw cannot do the same again.
So lots of stews brought for Scarlet Creek. Do you think that may have been a mistake, Ark? We didn't see many of the stews actually performing that well. Mr. P and obviously, as we saw, Rosa were the best performing brawlers.
Yeah, Rosa, obviously, with that tankiness, is a great brawler in terms of survival. I quite like the pick of Leon that we're seeing here as well from Ash, because obviously Leon has the ability to go invisible, and then you don't really necessarily know where he's going to be at any moment in time, especially if he does so outside of the camera shots. Keimani going to be going in with Daryl here, a more tankier brawler with the ability to roll in and get some damage, and OJ in the middle, rocking it so much. So look at those boxes available for him.
Oh,
he's sure getting some power-ups out of that.
Gosh, yeah, if OJ can get away with that, that is huge. Nat staying in the corner, got 1 power-up, looking okay as Spike. Obviously, a bit of a glass cannon. Spike wants to try and stay safe, but deal that damage and get those eliminations where possible. Keimani is the one to watch based on the first game, but look at OJ, just sneakily just swiping all of these power-ups.
I'm just going to be cautious about when he goes for those boxes, because ultimately other people around him are going to be looking to capitalize on his low reload speed. In that sense, he's going to have a couple of shots available to kind of balance between the two and go. But Nat here looking really, really low. Gets pinched between Ben, Tim, and Ash, but it'll be Ash that goes for the power cube.
Yeah, now Ben Tim not looking dire. Crying Man does get eliminated, and there goes Primo. Oh my gosh, it's a massacre over here, Ark.
Keimani's still surviving on there, and obviously he is absolutely dominating the leaderboard. So I feel like at the moment, that's something that Code Ash and Tom need to consider here. Nice use of gadget from Ash, but Tom will get the takedown, and that is going to be putting him in a nice position here with 2 power cubes on top of his head.
OJ's in the middle.
All right, OJ looking really nice with 8 power-ups in the center of the map there. Keimanu, not quite as spicy as the previous game. He's going to try and roll out of the way and get Ray, but look at that. OJ is looking for blood, and OJ is going to find that elimination. And now, honestly, Ark, with 10 power-ups, OJ looks unstoppable to me.
Yeah, he's going to be looking to go in on Tom, and Ray doing some damage on him also. And OJ with the pickup will take down the kill. That's very important to Ray giving a spin. And out of pure and utter respect, just goes straight off into the smoke.
So, Ark, what do you think is it that makes Leon so powerful on that map?
Ultimately, you know, if you've got your super, you can go off on your own kind of devices, go into a bush, use your super, and then you can appear somewhere else, ultimately. One thing to note as well with Ray going off into the smoke there is that he will not have given a kill, I assume, in that process, denying OJ with an additional option.
Next map is going to be Rockwall Brawl, by the way, because we are moving on so swiftly. Keimanu still looking good at the top of the leaderboard, but OJ and Tom both catching up.
Yeah, OJ just popped out of nowhere there, and definitely a strong contender. Look at the patterns we're seeing here as well. We've got a lot of Stu in the first round, a lot of Mr. P in the second, but we're going to be going off into Rockwall Brawl next. So definitely a couple of options there in terms of brawlers. Some long-ranged affairs potentially. The middle of the map is quite an open space. So you know,
throwers.
Yeah, but
I want to see some throwers.
Yeah. Anyone particular?
I mean, Mr. P is looking really good just across the board at the moment. As you just said, we've seen a lot of Mr. P. But I like to see some Barleys, some Ticks, just any of these throwers that can make life miserable. But that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing Edgars and Taras at the moment. Ray smashing those boxes. Surge, obviously, very good at getting through those walls quickly. That Rosa gadget just slowed everyone down.
Yeah, Unfriendly Bushes is in a very, very good place currently in the meta, and obviously anyone that has that to their disposal will be slowing down anyone around them with regards to placing an Echo, just going on the defensive here as he's getting a long-ranged attack from Code Ash there. Tom has got his super as well. He'll be looking to pounce, but look at the power cubes that will be going into Ash's pockets. He's going to be quite a dangerous person to avoid at the moment, and Bruno Clash as well on the 2 power cubes above his head. He's going to be looking to try to use his HP to his advantage now.
So Nat bringing Stu, not looking too great with Ray hiding around the corner with Edgar with the 4 upgrades. Ash is going to charge down on OJ, who has no power-ups, and Tom! Oh! Nat barely escaping with her life, but Tom also only narrowly surviving there.
Yeah, he's going to be healing up now. I'm looking to see whether Ray and Tom do end up going head-to-head here, because that's going to be an interesting one-on-one. OJ looks very sad there on the left-hand side on his own, and Ash will be there for the pickup. So 5 power cubes now, but I've got to be very aware that Ash has got super 2, so Tom can evade that. He can jump around that, and Nat, I would say, is definitely a weak link here, as both Ray and Tom are lurking around the midst.
Oh no, Ray comes in. The super from Nat, though, is going to get Ray burning, but sadly for Nat, Tom is going to steal the elimination. That definitely looks like that should have been hers, but there you go. The final blow is what counts. Bruno on the bottom is getting pushed out of the grass. If Crying Man spots Bruno, he could cause some damage, but Bruno is going to charge forwards and staying alive for now. Ash and Bentim, sorry, also getting very close to each other on the bottom left.
And Tim going to go in now on Ash. We're making the wrong person to go in, but Ash is now weak, and now Tom is going to capitalize. Bruno Clash going down the side as well. Tom is still going here, amazingly so, and now surely Nat not going to be feeling good about this situation. Crying Man, I feel, might try and target her with the pull here. He's actually going to try and whittle down Tom, interesting enough. Tom going in aggressively. That might not be the play. Nat might survive here. No!
Oh! Nat was so close to getting that elimination. David versus the Goliath almost managed to take down the 11 power-up brawler, but not quite. Wow, that was a really exciting game, Mark.
Yeah, honestly, it could have gone either way. Very much a more passive game this time around, as players were looking to survive on. I think the game and the competition is really heating up now.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take a look at the best moments from that game coming up right now.
Thank you, Tom. It's you got to kill him, Nat, for second place.
Oh, okay. Oh, man.
Let's get him.
Nat, why'd you do that? You could have been second.
I thought I could get him. Oh my god.
I quite agree that was the best moment of that game. Nat almost taking down the Goliath, but not quite. Tom now sitting very nicely in the lead arc.
Yeah, you've got to be aggressive, you know, getting those takedowns really does matter, so choosing brawlers that kind of get like, catered towards that is going to go a long, long way, and look at Tom. 28 is his score at the moment. Definitely the person to beat.
So quite a few Edgars ended up coming out of the woodwork in that game. Ray, Tom, and Ben Tim not going to be able to pick Edgar again. We're moving on to Feast or Famine arc, and you know what? This is one of those interesting showdown maps. The center can get hectic in this one.
Yeah, honestly, this is a fan favorite. Definitely takes me back to the good old beta days. You know, you just never know what's going to lie in wait. You're going to have a lot of brawlers around that mid, maybe some Jackie, maybe some Bull, things that are going to be able to sabotage. Look at this, already going in with a really tanky option here. Ash and OJ are going to be battling it out. There's a Jackie there as well, must be said. K-Manu is lying in wait.
Hang on, K-Manu's looking pretty good here. Look at him sweep up the power points.
That is exactly why Jackie was a really smart pick here, because ultimately those boxes are also clustered, and Jackie just can really clear out all of them. OG did a nice takedown, though. He'll be able to get a couple, but really watch out for K-Manu now, as he is a real threat.
I was busy with Ash.
Oh, there's Ruffs. OJ and K-Manu battling out in the center, but obviously OJ had a huge disadvantage.
There's a
on the right
spike on the
side.
top left also, so that could be a really strong counter to... Oh, down goes Nat. She can't be feeling very happy with that. Was that Tom that went down? I think Brady Clash got Tom down, and that's going to make a big,
Tom's
big
down
difference.
too.
Yeah, he's got all the points.
That is big. You want to take down the leader in a game like this. Of course, that is super important. Jackie still in the center. K-Manu not able to pick up any power points, and I don't think able to get any eliminations since those at the beginning.
Right now.
There's none of them chatting to each other. Anyone in the top left right now? Asks OJ. They're actually discussing the game as they play. Really interesting dynamic.
Trying to make some friends and feed some information through to get an advantage. We see you, OJ. We see you there. Brady Clash doing a great job to survive on here. He's got that supply drop there to give him a little bit of that buff. Crime Man as well has got to be cautious to hit those shots, because ultimately if he doesn't... Oh, Ben's from behind! A sneak attack there, as he's got 5 power cubes as well. But K-Manu goes in, the shield as well. It's going to be a battle between Bruno and K-Manu for the win.
Well, there you go. K-Manu still with an advantage. And of course, the longer this game gets, the more that advantage will favor K-Manu. As the gas pushes the players towards the center, it's going to be a fight in the grass. And obviously, the short-range brawler has the advantage for those.
Yeah, K-Manu is going to be using the speed to his advantage, but didn't seem to pick up where Bruno was lying in wait. Down goes the Sandbags. It's not going to make a difference, as K-Manu will pick up that victory.
K-Manu looking very good now. When we take a look at the scoreboard in a minute, I think we're going to see that Tom is getting a run for his money. But again, another great game. Goes to show just how powerful these close-range brawlers like Jackie are on these maps, where the boxes are clustered in the center.
There we have it then, the points there. K-Manu moving into the forefront then, pushing Tom down into second, and Bruno lying in third. But it's interesting to see, isn't it, how the players do respond to someone being out in the lead. They tend to get targeted in the round to follow.
Well, of course, that's the thing. Tom was in the lead. The other players need to be catching up with Tom. That being said, the way in which you qualify from the semifinals into the finals is you need to be in the top 5. That is the break point. It doesn't really matter if you're coming first, second, or third. As long as you're in that top 5, you have qualified. We're going to move on to Acid Lakes coming up next. And again, very different dynamic to the last one. Whereas in the last one, it's about close-range brawlers clustering in the center like we saw with Jackie. In this one, it's about being able to shoot over the lake. We'll see what they're going to do with this. But we see Tom with Amber, Ash with Jean, Nat repping Crow this time. Very interesting, very different.
Looking in the mid there, OJ getting a ton of boxes here as well. They've got to be careful of him. He's a very, very tankier option here. And there's going to be a multiplier on the kills as we go into the rounds. The longer we go through the rounds, the more the multipliers are going to stack up here. And already Ray can sense that he's trying to get OJ taken down early.
So kills even more important than they were before now. And Bruno is going to go down to Echo Gaming. Echo Gaming just pulled the Uno reverse there and took Bruno out. But it looked like Bruno was going to get that one. OJ barreling towards Tom. is going to get that elimination, and Ray is going to be able to sneak in and grab those power-ups, though. That could be big for later on.
Nat is just trying to survive on his. She has some range to her disposal here and does find Cryman with a few shots as Ben Tim is going to use that shield. Oh, but taken down nicely on that left-hand side by Ray, who's going to try and finish this off. Echo senses the opportunity to go in on OJ, and what a great option that will be if he gets the takedown. But who's going to get the power cubes? Echo goes down to Ray, and Ray is going to get a ton of points off the back of this round, surely.
No, he's not.
Hey,
no, he's not.
No.
Yeah, Tara got quite a few eliminations before going down there, so that was big. But now we are left with our final 3. It's going to be Nat once again, Ash, and Keimanu. Keimanu doing a really great job in the semifinals so far. Nat versus Ash. Nat has had to pop the gadget to get that shield up. She's taking too much damage.
Keimanu just trying to find it. Oh, Nat, that was a great shot there. Beyond 9 power cubes, now in a great position to go into this final moment here as Ash trying to find some shots off onto Cryman. He's got to do that to be able to come into the center of this map. Hey man, he can just sit there and just wait, but he's going to want to get some kills as well. The multiplier is very important here. Oh, Cryman comes in. Ash gets the scrap.
Yeah, that was a great reversal from Crying Man there. Again, the big underdog in that fight, able to take down the player with the huge number of power points. That was a really cool end to the game. And Ash didn't do all that much, but Ash was able to take down the winner.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how that translates into points actually myself, because ultimately surviving is great, but kills are what matters most here.
Well, there you go. Keimanu has basically locked in his position in the finals. I don't know the exact maths for it, but I don't see how he would lose top 5 now. Echo, Nat, and Ben Tim all have got a lot of work to do if they want to pick this up and get through. We're moving on to Cavan Churn coming up next arc, and come on. Now I expect to see some throwers.
You know, it's actually the perfect map for it. The middle of this map is honestly just a bush danger zone. You've got to be very cautious. I think we always see some bow actually here. It'd be a great brawler to consider. Yeah. But honestly, if you get inside that middle area, some bull could go a long way. Some brawlers that can really do well in close range combat. Maybe some more Jackies. We didn't see much of her going into Feast or Famine. There's a lot of options available for content creators here for sure.
All right, well, it's going to be bulls straight from the off. And crows and suits. Are we really not getting any throwers here, Ark?
The thing about the throwers is that they're going to do well in the center of the map, but that's where the ball is so dangerous. So it's a sort of thing where you're going to have to go in there early. We are going to see Ash playing Tick, and that's not a bad choice, but look how much he's getting targeted here as Tom gets the takedown.
We got a Sprout. Keimanu on Sprout in the top right corner. I like the look of that as well, staying out of the center, but then, of course, getting that buff when he's in the grass. Ray taking advantage of his star power to get that extra vision and really trying to bully Bruno.
Well, the time is ticking on the rounds. We are still in the multiplier phase, so definitely people are going to be wanting to capitalize on anyone who's showing signs of weakness to get the bang for their buck. As Ben Tim looking low does get a takedown onto Nathan, narrowly trying to evade Ray, who's on the hunt. Tom with a takedown of OJ as well. Those are players that I'm going to be looking at on the leaderboard for.
Yeah, we see the eliminations coming in thick and fast. Now, Ray's so weak compared to Ben Tim, and Tom going to swipe in and steal that elimination. Again, as you just said, there is a multiplier on points, tournament points that players get for eliminations now. So every single one really does count. And look at Bruno taking damage from both sides. Bo! But it is going to be Keimanu on the Sprout getting the elimination. And then plonking a nice wall in Ben Tim's way. So you don't do any damage to me right now. Tom and Crying Man both comfortably in the center. But Crying Man being the only player on Bull, I have to say, I think he has quite an advantage here. Because it's very tanky and he can just stay in the center.
Yeah, as the smoke feeds its way through. Oh, a nice gadget pop there from Keimanu to stay in the mix, especially going into a dangerous zone. And he's quite fortunate, actually, the Cryman and Tom at the top part of the map there, going in aggressive. But Tom is in the way. Oh, my goodness me. Keimanu did so well there to evade from Tom. But actually, Cryman is going to be able to heal comfortably behind that wall.
That was a vicious assault on Crying Man, but Crying Man was able to get the reversal and take him down. And now we have these 3 players. And again, Crying Man feeling to be in the most comfortable position from where I'm sitting. Tom gonna dash in and take down Ben Tim. And
what?
Tom, it's whoa! Okay. That was incredible from Tom. Yeah, I know he didn't win the fight, but my goodness, he gave it a good shot.
I mean, he was all over the place in a good way. I mean, Cryman just wasn't able to track him in that respect. And what an amazing display of how strong Stu can be.
Tom popped off at the end there, Ark, and to be fair, he has got the score to prove it. Second place, 44 points, not bad at all. Our top 5 is looking pretty solid. Well, I would say that, but OJ, Ash, Ben, Tim, Bruno, Ray all have only 1 or 2 points between them. So honestly, everything to play for on Double Trouble, which is going to be our final map. And this time, Ark, with a ×3 multiplier for kills.
So this is a great opportunity now for some of the stragglers to catch up with a solid round with a couple of kills here. They can actually kind of creep forwards into the forefront, but Double Trouble is a very open space map. I think we're going to see for the first time really a lot more longer ranged options today. Maybe some Pipers, maybe some Brocks and that kind of thing here. Definitely options available to these players.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here we go. Ben Tim going to be bringing Ruffs. Ray with Mr. P. Mr. P very solid on maps with sort of thin walls like this one. Echo going to try Leon. And Tom is playing Byron. That's a brawler I didn't necessarily expect to see in Solo Showdown at all.
Byron's, yeah, a really, really strong brawler to take on, and just look at that Tom with the takedown of Bruno Clash. He's playing B, which is another great brawler. It's interesting, isn't it, to see how these content creators are going into the final rounds with some of the strongest brawlers in their arsenal. I mean, Stu, as we saw Tom playing so well in that last game, is being littered across the map quite literally at the moment as Ray tries to get these suitcases to connect with Ash. If Ash gets super, he's going to struggle to do that, so he's capitalizing on the fact that he doesn't have it right now.
He is indeed. Nat is finding herself in a tough spot between a rock and a hard place. But Cash goes down, and then Nat goes down as well. OJ finding these key eliminations, but Tom, with Bruno's super ready, going to catch OJ at the start of his super. Incredible.
Tom is going to be in a very, very good place as long as he can keep his distance here. And as time goes on, the smoke is going to draw ever closer towards him. Now, Ben Tim putting down the sandbags is good, but Tom will be able to pierce through some of them with his star power. I imagine he's running. Oh, he goes down. However, that's not going to make any difference. Now, Ben Tim can hunker down behind those sandbags and just try to buy some time now.
Ray in the center, but not having too hard a time. Could do with getting rid of that porter spawner, but Ben Tim and Crying Man going to surround Ray, who is eventually taken out by Crying Man. I think he was taken out by the porter turret. And now 3 brawlers remain. Ben Tim goes down. It's Keimanu versus Crying Man, and the pull is ready to go.
Keimanu's going to have to connect this and connect it carefully. Cryman is going to be doing his best to try to chip down Keimanu. In the meantime, there's a ball that's going to connect with a porter. That was not the outcome that Keimanu wanted to try to achieve here. And Cryman will actually pick up the takedown.
Crying Man just bullied him, Ark. Just bullied him. Like, yeah, I'm going to just keep putting turrets in your way. You can try and pull me, but it's not going to work. A big win for Crying Man. We're going to see the scoreboard again in just a few moments and see which 5 players have qualified. Well, there you go, Ark. This is the final picture of which brawlers were played. And this definitely tells a story. We're seeing a lot of repeating faces. Edgar's, Leon's, Mr. P's, Rose's, Bulls coming up quite a lot. Any surprises here for you?
I think, to be honest, pretty much what we expected to see. I think some of the best brawlers in terms of meta. I think Spike for me was probably a brawler which I didn't quite expect to see that much of. We only saw 2 instances which would go along in accordance with that. But yeah, no, that's the thing with Showdown. You just never know what to expect.
And here is the final scoreboard. And Ark, we have a problem. Ben, Tim, and Ray a joint 5th with 29 points. We will get you the information on the tiebreaker later, and that is when you will find out which of those 2 players qualified. But OJ, Tom, Crying Man, and Keimanu have definitely all qualified for the finals. Along with, if we could get a drum roll. Here we go. There's Ben Tim. There's Tom. There's OJ. There's Keimanu. And the final qualifier was Crying Man. And apparently, Ark, the tiebreaker was 11 kills to 9.
That is interesting. I mean, Ray and Ben go back a long, long way. So I definitely feel like they're going to be competing nonetheless in that sense. What an amazing matchup that we saw there. And players are going to have to really, really think through more strategy to come. Commiserations to those that went out, and congratulations to those that went through.
Absolutely. But Ark, that was only the first match of the day. We have got the second semi-final coming up and then the grand finals after that. So do not go anywhere. Solo Showdown Throwdown continues after this.
So what I love about Brawl Stars is the in-depth strategy behind the game. It's an arcade-style MOBA, so it's very quick paced, but every brawler you play gives you a different gameplay experience.
I've got to say, my favorite thing about Brawl Stars has got to be the community as a whole. It's made up of so many different people from all different cultures, all different places all around the world, and all the people I've gotten to know. Is just a really neat thing that we can all come together over a mutual love of this game.
I'm sure we all have several reasons as to why we enjoy Brawl Stars. Not gonna lie, I enjoy all the friends that I've made along the way, especially doing YouTube surrounding the game, all my tribe gang friends, as well as smaller creators, bigger creators. It doesn't matter, we're all family here, right? Brawl Stars OP.
Brawl Stars is a super fun game to play with your friends and to play with your family. You can play it, pick it up, play a couple of games if you have a few spare minutes.
I love Brawl Stars because the game is amazing. The community is nothing like I've ever seen. And I mean, the game in general is just completely addicting. It's just so good, so fun. Any skill level can play this game. So I'm not the best. So that's why it's one of my favorites.
Welcome back to Showdown Throwdown, where we have got our first 5 finalists. But Ark, we have got another semi-finals to go to find out who the next 5 finalists will be. I'm very excited for this one. What do you think of this new group of players?
I think it's going to be even more competitive, actually. I know a lot of them very, very well, and they're going to absolutely want to give it their all. And if anything is to go by from the previous rounds, I honestly feel like these could be even more heated.
I agree. This time around, we have got Chicken, Coach Corey, Drage, Full Frontage, Havoc Gaming, Kairos, Lady Pink Panther, Lucas, Spen, and YDE to round things out. Again, a nice mix of content creators and pro players that Ark, the two of us, have been very used to casting over the last year or two.
Yeah, and that's the really interesting twist here as well, is because a lot of content creators spend a lot of time playing Showdown for their vids, whereas pro players don't necessarily. So it's going to be a balance between how these players make their decisions in that respect.
It is indeed. Well, Ark, of course, this is Solo Showdown, so we are going to have 7 maps coming up once more. We're starting off with Skull Creek, moving on to Scorched Zone, Rock Wall Brawl, Feast of Famine, Acid Lakes, Cavern, Churn, and then finally Double Trouble. Of course, we will be playing all 7 of these maps, and as we get deeper into the game, that kill multiplier will start to flare up, and the kills are going to mean more and more points towards the finals. Now, as we saw in the last semi-final, every single point matters, as we actually had a tiebreaker in our joint 5 position. So as we jump into the first game, keep in mind, everything counts.
Okay, then going in, just bear in mind that the kill multiplier will be at ×1 for the first 3 rounds. We see Drage going with Barley. I think that's a pretty decent choice for this particular map, and already his teammate Spen giving him some issues there. Lucas going to pick up 2 power-ups straight away and going to be swiping the bat down on Full Frontage.
Oh my gosh, Lucas annihilating. Already, Ark, I've got to tell you, this meta is dramatically different to the one we saw in the first game in the first semi-finals. No stews around at all. We've got Barleys, we've got Neaters, we've got Sprouts. Lots of brawlers we didn't see much at all from the previous group. As Coach Corey is going to get a nice little Ruffs elimination there. And already our players are starting to get narrowed down.
I'm honestly really surprised to see Kairos playing Mortis as well, like in such an early stage. I guess he just wants to get it out of the way early on and just warm up his thumbs. But Havoc, meanwhile, has got 4 power cubes above his head. He'll be a great counter to Chicken. If he spots it, is Havoc going to go in here? He is, but I think a really good, smart gadget there from Chicken to try to get away. But Spin and Drake shut that idea down straight away.
Yeah, Havoc Gaming kind of got that kill stolen, I would say there, by Drage on the Barley. But still, that's good for Drage. as eliminations do mean points. And Lucas, so low on health, it's going to pop the gadget and stays alive on 60. Just trying to do what he can to stay alive. But Mortis going to dash in and steal some power-ups.
Kairos could not collect the goods, but he's going to try and get the takedown onto Havoc. It's not often you see a Mortis get the upper hand over a Shelly, but a really nice time run there from Kairos. But Coach Corey going to be shutting that idea down. I think going to be trying to force Kairos down the map.
Kairos is just showing off now, Ark. Look at him just sweeping up those eliminations. I wouldn't be surprised if he went for Corey very soon. Just trying to allow Spen to get a little bit more damage on Coach Corey before going for it. There you go. Coach Corey's very weak. Very weak indeed. Kairos nowhere to be seen, though. Can he sweep up the elimination? Yes, he can! How many points has Kairos managed to get this game, Ark?
He's still going, cycling the Super. My goodness, Kairos really wants his hand on that Showdown Throwdown belt. Wow.
I'm almost lost for words there, Ark. That was some very impressive Mortis play.
I'm honestly baffled, surprised, and delighted to see Kairos go with the Mortis pick and do so well. But let's take a look at those replays.
Oh man, Lucas is in a rough place.
No!
Come on!
No!
Oh,
What?
no way!
Oh.
Oh no! Woo! Oh man, I cannot believe how well this strategy is working out here.
Scorched Stone coming up next, but first, Ark, just look at Kairos sitting pretty with 14 points. That was extremely impressive and not what I would have expected coming from a Mortis.
Yeah, honestly, Kairos is laying down the mantle very, very early on and showing other creators that he's going to be unpredictable. I think he's actually got a very good strategy here in mind. We know that Kairos is a very calculated, methodical kind of guy, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if he's got a book alongside himself with a big, long line of strategy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the man certainly works hard, and he's going to be taking this competitive play very seriously indeed. Coming up, though, we have got another 6 rounds, so nothing is set in stone yet. As we kick things off now, full frontage, jumping in with Byron up against YDE on the max.
Okay, well, Byron, I think, is a really interesting pick, and the map is quite hated towards long-range brawlers. We're already seeing Drage there with B on the top, putting some pressure onto full frontage, and yep, he's going to be retreating there, and Drage will start to collect those boxes instead and readdress his priorities as Chicken here is laning side with Spen, 2 maxes going at it here. Spen, the pro player, of course, and Chicken, the content creator and editor for Kairos, so I've got to give my idea in my mind there, got to go with Spen as the more skill, but Chicken is going to be giving it his all today.
YDE, though, is just going to run around the middle collecting power-ups, looking very good indeed. Full frontage and Drage still battling out in the top right corner. Haven't really managed to get any upgrades. And oh god! YDE has gone down!
What a shot there. I've got to give credit to that one. Honestly, on Kairos here, in trouble. Coach Corey gets the takedown. Despite the slowdown, he'll be collecting the power cubes and going into the mid now.
Yep, still plenty of action to go. Chicken on 10 HP is able to get that regeneration off. Lady Panther looking good at the moment. 5 power-ups, I think. That puts her on top.
LPP buckling down, putting down the gadget for the additional speed and not taking any chances with the dash away. But ultimately, Spen and Drage are going to be trying to keep her locked down there. Spen now as well, kind of low on the same level as LPP, but Drage with a pickup. Now, LPP's got to evade and she goes down.
Chicken goes down. Coach Corey lasering him. Coach Corey is going to have to try and use that super to good effect because he has fewer power points and is going to be able to take down Lucas. Spen falls to Drage, and now it's 8-bit versus B. Corey going to teleport once more, playing so aggressively with his super and gadget. Is it going to pay off? He definitely has the advantage here. B misses the super, and Coach Corey takes the win.
Some insane moments there from Coach Corey, using the cheats cartridge gadgets to such great effect, and a pro player like Drage couldn't get and stand the heat up against him.
Absolutely not. Well, there you go. That was the second game of the semi-final 2. Let's take a look at some of the best moments.
Dre John B, it should be GG. Oh, or is it? Maybe not.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
This is so awkward. What is it?
There it is.
Spen said, with Drage on B, it should be GG. And then Drage got ripped apart. The pro players, they're trying to show that they know what's up. But maybe pro players don't have the advantage here.
Or, yeah, nerves perhaps getting to them. I've got to say, we're seeing some patterns occurring in our scoreboard right here. Coach Corey coming back with the exact same number of points as Kairos after that round. So, yeah, I think those two in particular are going to be taking this next round very seriously.
Yeah, I completely agree. Looking at YDE sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard, I tell you what, Ark, YDE is not used to being at the bottom of leaderboards. He's going to want to change that sooner rather than later.
Exactly what I was saying. See, these players are very, very skilled on the pro circuit. When it comes to Showdown, this is where we're starting to see some of the gaps and cracks starting to form, which is a fantastic advantage for a lot of our creators today.
All right, we move on to Rockwall Brawl. Kairos looking good as Edgar on the left. 2 power-ups already. Lucas also with the 2 power-ups on Edgar. Full frontage. That's not full frontage. That's the clone that's just run in and gotten killed next to YDE. As Kairos is trying to take advantage of space. Does get very close to a Leon there. I imagine that ended quite badly, although it doesn't look like either of them got eliminated next. Yeah, Drage is going to find the elim on Lady Panther. And Edgar's looking good for now.
Yeah, Drage wanting to do better upon his previous defeat in that final stage. Coach Corey is running the same brawler, it must be said, and we saw what Coach Corey did with Drage, so a bit of a grudge match occurring here as Lucas gets a really nice takedown there of Chicken, 2 power cubes more above his head.
What's up with the Edgar versus Sprout?
Full frontage, just sitting in the center, but Havoc Gaming is coming, and full frontage deals so much. Leon deals so much damage up close. Oh my God. There was nothing the other player could do, and now full frontage is going in for some more eliminations. Did he just get both? He just got both.
Wow, the grudge match between Drage and Coach Corey Scott absolutely shut down the full frontage party pooper. I'm going to call that one.
I'm so scared.
I just cannot believe how good that was from full frontage. 3 eliminations, and these eliminations really do matter. Now the players have all slowed right down. They've all found their patch of grass that they want to sit in. YDE is just trying to scout and find out where the other players are, but for the most part, nothing's happening right now.
Yeah, YDE is not doing too well on the leaderboard, so he's got no power cubes above his head as well. It's not looking good, so his best bet right now is just to try to stay hidden, as is everyone. But Spen is making himself known just to make sure that everyone's aware of his presence, whereas, yeah, it's a very different story with some of the other players here.
Spen looking in a very bad spot there, but the super is able to get the reversal on full frontage. Spen is going to teleport to try and dodge YDE, but YDE does find the elimination and finally find some power points. Can he wall Edgar out? Yes, he can, but the gas is going to start to take him out. YDE finds an elimination anyway, and although he comes second, he does finally get some points on the board. Kairos, though, looking really solid with yet another victory.
I mean, you know, this is a thing. I think a lot of people coming into this might think that the pro players have the edge, but it's the content creators today that are doing so well.
Yes, absolutely. The content creators continue to prove themselves. Let's take a look at them proving themselves in this last game.
That was crazy.
Oh my God. Synchronized movement. I'm scared. Oh, the double kill. Oh my God. Okay.
Wow.
I'm now scared of. Was that a double? No way.
Well, there you go, Ark. We move on to Feast or Famine. It's going to be double points for kills moving forwards. And some of these players are going to need the double points. YDE has finally found himself with some points and actually looking pretty good on this leaderboard. But Kairos and Coach Corey and Spen are so far in the lead. Double points could make a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Wiley needs to get off the mark, and he has done that. So now we're trying to capitalize potentially on the multiplier. Now would be a good call for him. Lots of Edgar. Look at that. We saw 5 instances of Edgar in that last round. So a lot of players and content creators cannot play that brawler again. But then there'll be openings for others to try and bring it into the mix.
Yeah, it's actually quite amazing how similar the strategies have been in this last game. So many Edgars, so many Sprouts in the last one. But here we go. The next game now. Feast of Famine. And Kairos and Havoc Gaming are both going to go for the center immediately. Havoc Gaming gets the first upgrade, but Kairos is going for it, finds the elimination, and now is uncontested to get the rest of those power cubes.
He's going to be really rocking a big number above his head as Lucas did a really nice juke there to stay clear of the range that Drage had to his disposal there. I think a wise decision. Stu is a really good brawler at closing the gap, but ultimately against the range of Drage, he would not have stood a chance there. So I think a very, very kind of a patient playing style from Lucas that we're seeing today.
Lucas gonna charge up that super real quick. Charge forwards, dash in, and is going to find the elimination on Coach Corey, but not able to grab the power points. Now YDE smells blood and is going to hunt forwards. Definitely has a bit of an advantage against Lucas here. So Lucas is going to play defensively. Has the super ready to go, ready to dash away, and is definitely giving YDE a bit of a challenge for now.
Yeah, Whitey's got him in a really, really tight spot here, and he's not going to be budging away from this. He knows that he's got the advantage with 4 power cubes above his head, so Lucas has 2. Definitely, I think Lucas should be probably trying to stay clear of this interaction here as the showdown smoke comes in from the right-hand side here. The options are going to be dwindling for him in terms of what he's going to do next.
Don't forget, Arc eliminations are now worth 2 points, not 1. So everything that happens in the game really counts. Lady Panther is a little bit cornered, tries to stay alive, but is going to waste the first power shot. Instabilo ready to go with the second one. Full Frontage takes the damage, but is going to find the elimination. And Drage with the silver bullet.
Oh, hi, Drage.
And a kiss goodbye.
That was honestly pinpoint accuracy from Drage for the follow-up. But Kairos is sitting in the middle of this map with the same power cubes that he started on. I don't think he's actually been doing anything, and it's working. He is in the best position, in my opinion, out of anyone else in this current matchup.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Kairos dealing a lot of damage, has the super ready to go, and is going to have to pop it any moment now, but Spen takes down YDE, who was hot on Kairos' tail. Kairos is going to go down, and Drage didn't quite catch what happened at the end there, but Drage will stand victorious. That's a big win for him.
Back and forth at the end of that match was so quick. We need a photo finish for that one, but yeah, great to see Drage getting off the mark.
It was indeed. We're going to see those best moments. I'm guessing the end of that game coming up right now.
Is anybody mid?
Going in there.
It's gotta be.
I just see lots of bush checking.
Someone's there. Someone's there.
So scared.
Surely. There's one person mid.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Okay, now everybody targets me.
Oh no. Kairos away.
Oh.
No!
No!
Oh!
So Spen got Kairos and Drage got Spent, I think. That's what happened at the end there, but it happened so quickly. Kairos still sitting on top of the leaderboard, but Drage and Spen not too far behind, and YDE starting to pick up the points now, but still not in the top 5. And of course, the top 5 players are the ones that are going to qualify.
Yeah, Drage is quite the gun slinger Colt and capitalized on that scenario there. An interesting brawler choice as well going into Feast or Famine. It must be said, not going with the close range brawlers that we kind of used to expecting there. Maybe some strategy forming with that and saving some for later on, because some of the maps will definitely cater more towards it. But again, a reminder that any of the brawlers that those players played in that last round, they cannot recycle and use again. They've got to keep mixing it up and changing up their strategy.
Yeah, that's right. If you use all of your best brawlers at the start, you might find yourself in trouble later on. But here we go.
Okay, so
Acid Lakes.
Okay, well, Kara's going to bring in Stu this time round. I think probably a brawler he's been holding off on, as Stu is in a fantastic place, as we're going to see Coach Corey doing the same also. So going to see some back and forth there. Kara's is going to pick up that first power cube and make his way straight over to the left. That's probably a wise idea, because Coach Corey had 2 boxes there for himself. And, you know, sharing love is going to come back around towards the end of the matchup, hopefully. But I don't know much about that. I think that might not be the case, actually. I think I'm lying.
Lucas in full frontage. Oh, Lucas with 2 perfect snipes on full frontage, who was looking good earlier, but is starting to lose his footing in this group. Lucas not going to stop there, though. Kairos, meanwhile, fighting. Is that a dynamite?
It is. It is a Robo Mike skin from Havoc who drops the pin as well and gets taken down just as quickly. But look at the boxes in the middle of the map, and no one is going for them right now. Everyone's too preoccupied, but there's a ton of power cubes there waiting in the midst. Someone needs to go for them right now.
Yeah, YDE not quite going to be able to grab that power cube there, unfortunately. Oh, he does. He creeps forwards and gets it. Chicken going to make it difficult for YDE to escape. YDE looking pretty safe for now, retreating back to his speed zone. Oh, Kairos just trying to take out Lady Panther, and the dash forwards is going to grant him the elimination.
Oh, Coach Corey was lying there. What a little ambush there from him. He's going to get a really nice amount of power cubes for his trouble if he can stay alive. However, Kara's time coming in hot, gets 3 for his trouble, but there's still a ton of boxes in the middle. It's just about who wants to go there first, and at the moment, everyone's trying to avoid it and go for the interactions outside of the mid.
Hey, Kairos, how's it going?
Oh, Kairos. Attacked by both sides. Chicken and Spen and Drage are the last 3 surviving players now, and Chicken is going to jump forwards with Crow. Is that going to be good enough, though? As Spen, with a super charge shot, it's going to get another elimination. It is just the 2 of them now, right? I think it is just the 2 of them.
Spen's out of position, though. He's going to come into the mid and try and do his best. But Drage, in the meanwhile, juking fantastically well and going in with the final jump. Another victory then, back-to-back for Drage.
Drage just isn't letting up, Ark. He's not leaving even a moment for the other players to overtake. I think Drage has pretty much locked in his spot in the finals. And here's our leaderboard now. Kairos still in the lead. I don't think Kairos or Drage are even close to losing out on their position in the finals. We only have the final few rounds left. Ark, I guess the tension comes from the middle. Coach Corey, Lucas, YDE, Chicken. Only a few of them are going to qualify.
Yeah, it's going to come down to really, really tough games to follow. We're going to be going in again to another multiplier round, but the last of which in round 6. So the kill's going to really matter now, and being aggressive is what these players need to consider when it comes to their brawler choices. Having the middle control of this map and being an ambush style brawler, I think is going to go a long way here.
As we jump onto Cavern Churn. Lots of grass, lots of thick walls. Kairos is going to bring Tara to the table this time.
I think that Tara's quite an interesting choice, to be fair, actually. If Kairos can get super early on and try to pick on one of his fellow content creators or pro players, he'll be in a strong spot. But look at Spen now. He's in a great spot to go in on Kairos, actually, because Kairos has yet to really get any value from any hits around him. It's going to take a while to get his super at this rate.
Hi, Drage.
Yep. I agree. YDE on the right side does have super ready. He's going to try and bully Drage, but Drage! Oh, very clever. I liked the use of the gadget there, but unfortunately it didn't make contact. And Drage, who is almost at the top of the leaderboard, has been taken out. I don't think that he's at risk of not qualifying, but it's going to make YDE feel pretty good for getting that elimination for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a smart move from Wiley to get Drake out of the mix being a front runner, and that will allow him to try to get some kills on the board and to qualify into the finals. Look at this, though, Spen and Wiley rocking the same brawler here, and yeah, they're going to be both waiting to see who uses their super first and then capitalizing on the fact that they will have not been able to evade this. And look at again, Kairos is going to struggle here massively. He tries to use gadget, and the coach Corey comes in for the takedown.
Chicken is going to take care of YDE. That is a big defeat that YDE did not want at all. Spen is going to fight Primo now, but Primo looking so much healthier. He's going to get the super, but Spen's still going to get the reversal. You know, with the other star power arc, that would have taken Spen out.
Yeah, now Havoc's got a real dilemma here because he needs to find who is lurking in the mid. There's a Rosa gadget going, so that's a really dangerous thing. There's Coach Corey behind it and LPP as well. So 2 Roses is... Oh, Coach Corey make that 1 Rosa in the mid. Havoc, though, is still going to be looking to find whether he's going to run into Coach Corey right now. Coach Corey, though, too tanky, gets the takedown, and is going to be our winner.
Yeah, Rico is never winning that fight up close and personal against a Rosa that has the super ready. But there you go. That was round 6, Arc. Things are getting really intense here. YDE put up a fight, but it wasn't quite enough. Let's take a look once more at the highlights from the last game.
Happen.
Oh, the backfire. Oh, YDE.
Oh my god.
Why did he got played?
Oh,
it's bouncy.
Chicken, stay alive!
No!
Stay alive, Chicken! No!
No! Oh.
What's this?
At least I got
Oh my god!
All right, it all comes down to this arc. It's going to be double trouble. Triple points for eliminations now. You need to get eliminating those other brawlers.
Yeah, I mean, Karis is out there in front, Dre shortly below that, and Coach Corey, Spen also in the 40s, so that top four looking really strong as we have battled to see, I think, who's going to be able to join them for 5th place, and, you know, the Brawlers are dwindling down. We're getting down to now whatever the players have been saving for this moment, because, like you rightly say, Falcone, we're in double trouble, but we're in triple points at this stage.
It looks like it's going to be Lucas or YDE. The battle between the two of them to see which is going to qualify. The battle starts now. The final game of the second semi-final. Here we go.
Here we go then. The pressure is on, and Kairos time going in with Nani. Using range here is going to be key, I feel, as the map does cater very much towards it. But Kairos is going with a nice choice of brawler because ultimately Nani can also do very, very well at close range. So covering his options here, I think, is very smart. He's very, very strategic in that way, as we know Kairos is. So I'm not really at all surprised to see that is the case for him.
Not a fantastic fight to end up in, though, against Lucas here. Not able to get many hits against him. All that being said, the hits have started in now, but with Lady Panther appearing, Kairos is getting punished. He's going to have to retreat.
Yeah. I think it's smart to do that and just to hide and wait within the bushes there. But down goes Chicken there, Drage in the mid, and Kairos will pick up on the outside of the map.
Kairos. Super is ready. Is there something sneaky he can do with that? It's the return to sender gadget. Not going with the teleport. There's all the combat happening in the center. Another elimination as Drage just about survives, and Kairos
killing me, dude.
still taking on Lucas. It feels like this fight has been going on for the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, Kairos and Lucas can even choose to go head-to-head, or they can choose to evade, but Spen with 8 power cubes actually somehow manages to get Kairos taken down, juking away here. But now, look at this. He's caught in a corner now, and Lucas can smell the opportunity. He's going to throw in a super, and Spen's doing so well to evade this. Coming out.
A very nice reversal, but Spen had so many more power-ups than the other player did. Now Drage, YDE, both spewing missiles towards Spen. We are down to our final 3 players. YDE, though, with no power-ups at all. He is fighting for his life in this tournament right now. He needs to get some points here.
I do not like his odds. You got Spen with 10 power cubes, you got Drage with 8, and Whitey is gonna, go down very quickly to that. Now it's gonna come down to the 2 teammates, Spen, LC versus Drage, and they're both at a decent stage, but Spen is out of position, misses the super. I've got my money on Drage.
Yeah, honestly, Ark, they've both already qualified. Look at them go! Look at them both dashing. They both qualified. They're both looking great, but now we are going to very shortly see the full list of players who have qualified. That was a shocking end to the game there. I'll tell you what, Ark. Stu with his dashes, they always get so fascinating and so interesting. So if I'm not mistaken, Havoc and Full Frontage are the only players that didn't bring Edgar.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Like to see how some players utilize newer brawlers and some choose to go a bit more old school in that respect. And we have then in the leaderboards, Drage right out on top. Spen shortly following in second. Kairos then in third. Coach Corey and Lucas are going to qualify.
YDE falling short, just 3 points short, very close to Lucas, but not quite able to get there. Here you go. Your qualifiers are Kairos time, Drage, Spen LC, Lucas, and Coach Corey. All looking really good, Ark.
Yeah, and now we're going to be combining the two groups, and this is going to go up another notch, as if it wasn't already competitive enough. Content creators, as we know, do love to do a lot of challenges and are going to have a lot of support from a following, which they have to please under these circumstances. It's a must for them. So having the pro players go up against them in this environment, it's just such a joy to watch. I honestly can't call it. It's going to be insane.
What is the meta going to look like in this finals? Which brawlers will come out supreme? We will answer all of these questions and more in our finals coming up after this.
My favorite brawler in Brawl Stars is Mortis. He's super fast paced, and especially in Brawl Ball. I especially like to use Mortis in Brawl Ball because you can pick up the ball, you can make trick shots, etc, etc.
I've learned today that my favorite brawler has changed. It now has to be Tara, the only brawler that I was able to get kills with in this entire Showdown event. Thanks, Ash. I took tips from you after you killed me.
My favorite brawler to use in Showdown would probably be like Mr. P, because one, his new gadget where you could throw the little penguins at people. If the map has a lot of bushes, then the little penguins can show you where they are. And yeah, he's just really, really good.
I love Sandy because he's like sleepy and tired, and he has like the best slippers I've ever seen ever in my life. So I like Sandy, but I also like Rosa.
My favorite brawler is Mortis by far. I love the creature of the night, but close second, I would say Dynamite. Close third, Colt. That's my top three, my three favorites, the trifecta. Love them all.
Welcome back to Showdown Throwdown, where it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It is finals time, Ark.
Oh, it comes down to this. We've seen so many people come and go, but now the top 10 from those two groups are going to come head to head, and we're going to see who has got it in them to go all the way in this competition.
Absolutely. We have seen some amazing play across the board from both semi-finals today, but it's all going to come down to this. Our finals players are up on screen now. We have got Ben Tim, Coach Corey, Crying Man, Drage, Kyrostime, K-Manu, Lucas, OJ, Spen, and Tom Ark. But only one of them will be crowned victorious. Only one of them will take the legendary belt.
And it's a great mix between content creators and pro players here, so I honestly feel there's a good balance in the mix. Again, like we mentioned earlier, content creators have the advantage that they play a lot of this game mode. They're going to be playing it for challenges and videos, but the pro players not necessarily so much. So we have seen already a lot of upsets in the competition, and I fully expect more to come.
Absolutely. Well, you don't have to wait much longer, Ark. The finals start now. I've got to tell you, some of these maps, I'm not super familiar with them. I'm not going to lie to you.
There's a great mix, and some of those maps that are the more elusive are being saved until the end. There's a couple of names that even maybe the most notorious Showdown players won't even recognize as being coming around much in the rotation. So I'm looking to see how everyone reacts and responds to them when they come around.
But here we go. We have got OJ on the bow, just camping inside the totem. And look at all the action taking place in the bottom of the map. Lucas, solo on health, is going to get taken down by Drage. Now, again, just as a little refresher, these players are getting points based on the standings at the end of each game, but also based on how many eliminations they get. Each elimination is worth 1 point now, as another elimination comes up there, but later on the eliminations will be worth more points over time. Drage, Ark, 8 power-ups, looking good.
Yeah, I love this map for the reason that you can choose to go with a tankier brawler and stay around the edges during the early stages, but that could come back around to haunt you in the later stages when you're forced into the center, or start with a more long-range brawler like we're seeing with Code Tom in the center of the map there, hunkering down on the totem. I love the strategy, I've got to say, because Tom is going to be cycling his super as a result of that gadget.
He is indeed. Drage, wandering around the side of the map, isn't going to be able to stay there for much longer. In fact, is going to come out. But Spen, also on Rosa with significantly fewer power-ups, not looking quite as good. Tom, super is ready. Gonna already got mines down, so going to save these for when those get destroyed, I guess. In fact, there's bone mines all over the shop. What's that at the top middle?
Tom's looking down, but look at Cryman lurking in the weights, and here's going to be a fantastic counter to both Spen and Drage playing Shelly. So if Tom can survive on here to try to maybe get Cryman taken down for them, it'll go a long, long way, but I don't think that's going to happen. Cryman, despite having the one power cube, is being countered now as now Spen comes in. He's trying to Spen, not going to happen. It's going to come down to Spen, and Drage is going to be victorious.
Crying Man was stuck between a rock and a hard place there. You were right, Ark. Such a good brawler to be taking out Roses, but not in the position that we saw right there. Torn apart. Drage takes the first win in our first finals game. And let's take a look at some of the best moments.
Hey, guys.
Woo! Oh, man, OJ!
Oh.
Dang it! Oh, man.
Oh, hey there, Tom.
Ben?
Hey there, buddy.
Friends?
Oh my gosh,
Hey there,
Drake has
Tom.
8 power cubes?
Oh, God.
Be friends, alright?
No.
Oh!
What the heck?
Oh!
I got it.
The
cheese.
That was a fest.
I tell you, at the end there, Ark, Drage versus Spen. Drage with double the amount of power-ups. I don't think there was much contest.
Yeah, and almost double the amount of points of Spen as well on a big 15. A great start for Drake. He'll be feeling very confident going into the second round now with that boost to start things off.
Yeah, I mean, looking at how things start at the start of the grand finals, getting those good standings, that is more important than eliminations. But as the games go on, eliminations become more important. That's a lot of roses and bows used up.
Yeah, that is 5 bows that are not going to be making a reoccurrence for Kairos, for K-Manu, and Ben Tim and others, and roses. So I've got to say, going into our next map, it's kind of catered on the outskirts, very similar, with Rosa being an option there. So definitely look out for maybe Crying Man coming in with a Rosa pick and Kairos and K-Manu, and others that didn't choose to play it in that last round.
It's Stormy Plains, and OJ is jumping in as Shelly. Is going to be fighting against Ben Tim on the tick, who is going to get that first power cube by the looks of things. Spen going to grab one as well as Surge, and we've got Edgar's running rampant as well.
Yeah, a great, fantastic brawler in the instances in the later stages of this game where they can just hop in and take someone by surprise. I think Cryman is going to really struggle in those interactions with Edgar's. OJ already hunkering down with 3 power cubes as Coach Corey, very much the same. K-Manu, a lot of big power cube numbers above the heads of a lot of these players. So that is going to equate to surely a lot of kills for those that have the highest of numbers.
Drage leaps forwards. And is now kind of in an awkward position here as Kairos has a very good positioning. Drage goes down early, which is bad for him. He had such a good start earlier. And K-Manu soaking up those power-ups.
Yeah, Kairos is playing a very smart game here and just instantly getting down the competition. I don't think Drake is going to be very happy about that. Ben Tim is going to be in a really tight spot here, but as a thrower, a bit of an advantage as Spen goes in on Kairos time. It's going to be very low here. Kairos is doing wonders right now, getting so many kills at the same time. But OJ on a big 4 power cubes also is going to be something that he's going to have to go through.
I was like, yes, I've got him, then insulate, no.
Coach Corey is going to want to be getting that supercharge so that he can potentially get a bit of a counter on Edgar there, but it's not going to be that easy. Crying Man, no upgrades. Ben Tim also no upgrades, and OJ smells blood.
Ticket connects, and OJ with the pickup. That's going to be another power cube as well to add to the 4 that he has already. Again, Ben Tim surviving on, I'm not really sure how he's playing Tick, but K-Manu gets a couple of hits, and Kairos coming in as well. Kairos is going to be absolutely bathing in points after this round has concluded.
OJ trapped in the center. Super not ready. But Corey finds the elimination on K-Manu. OJ dashes in and gets taken out by Kairos, and now it is a 1v1. Kairos has more upgrades, and Coach Corey goes down to a very well-placed suitcase. A good win from Kairos time there, Rock.
Kairos time is laying down the mantle and showing everyone what it takes to be the best in round 2. My goodness me. I'm looking forward to seeing how many points he correlated as a result of that round.
A fascinating game. Mr. P's and Edgar's and Shelly's facing off at the end. Well, Kairos now sitting in first place, Ark. 16 points, 1 point ahead of Drage. And these points really matter. Everything adds up as these players are battling it out for that belt.
Yeah, a lot of people still to show themselves at the moment. Tom, notably down the bottom, as well as Ben, Tim, and Lucas have got to still pull up their socks. There's a big, mighty lead being extended by both Drage and Kairos. Time they're going to have to do better. And look at those brawlers of choice there. Lots of Mr. P, and we've already seen tons of Bo and Rosa. So a lot of brawlers being eradicated from the mix as we go through these rounds.
Yes, lots of Mr. P, like you said. Very few brawlers were played actually in round 1 and round 2. I think Shelly is one of the only brawlers that was seen in both rounds. Shelly, actually, I think Shelly was the only brawler seen in both rounds. Very interesting as we move on to round 3. Here we are. It's Dark Passage.
Okay,
Very odd layout this map has. Lakes, lots of grass, creeping into the center.
Yeah,
Kairos down already.
Kairos is out straight away, and this is what I love about Showdown. Like, every round is different. Kairos had a phenomenal round too, and already is not going to be able to really extend much in terms of points. So an opportunity for like Drage to come into the mix with a return to sender that will connect with Spen. Nice damage, but with that shield, he's able to soak up a lot of that.
Oh, Manu wanders out and makes a mistake as Spen snipes him with that charged up shot. Drage going to be able to creep in and get these power-ups that could be very relevant. Nannies are all over the place in this game, but Spen, concealed, knows exactly where Drage is. Does he have an advantage here? I think he does.
Going to be a battle between the two presidents. Oh, Spen, Drage is in a great spot. Look at this though. Coach Corey was using Peep and double tap down. Both Tom and Coach Corey are eliminated now as Crying Man with 9 power cubes evading Ben Tim. He's going to go down. Ben Tim's going to get a ton of value from that interaction.
I have no idea what that is.
It's Ben Tim versus Drage. Ben Tim has more upgrades. Is that going to factor in? Drage has that quick burst damage, but Ben Tim has the shield. The return to sender, the super! Oh, he missed! He missed Ark! He doesn't have time! Ben Tim gets the elimination. That was hilarious. The Nani, the Peep just couldn't do anything, and Nani was sat defenseless. If Nani didn't use the super, maybe he could have found the elimination there.
Well, the super's getting 10% value from the shield, so it's honestly such a really interesting thing to watch, though. Both players couldn't really get the takedown, but Drake making the final 2 is a big deal. That will do well for him in terms of points.
Maybe the play was to use the super and crash it as quickly as possible just to reload the ammo. Either way, best moments coming up.
What am I dealing
1v1 situation here.
I have no idea where he is.
Drage, check the bush in the upper right-hand corner.
Oh, Ben! No way!
Oh, what?
Wait.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god.
I'm so glad you killed me, Ben.
That was intense.
That was so painful.
Wow.
That was so painful.
Wow.
I definitely wonder if crashing the Peep and with the recharged ammo, just slaying the Crow was the way there. But who knows, Ark? Drage still sitting pretty on top with 22 points, a 5-point lead against second place. Lucas, Keimanu, and Tom and OJ sat at the bottom. They've got some catching up to do if they want a chance to win that belt.
Yeah, even the pros are putting aside their pride to some questionable plays today, but that's the spirit of the competition. It's great to see everyone, letting down their hair and just really enjoying themselves at the moment. 4 peeps were on the brawler picks. They're 2 of Mr. P. So I think Mr. P now one of the highest picked brawlers that we probably won't be seeing too much of, as along with Bo also. As we go into our next map, Forsaken Fall, I'm really curious to see now who's going to bring in their strategy. Who's going to be thinking through the long game here, because that is the player that's going to come out on top when it comes to this matchup.
Well, it's time to find out, Ark. As again, interesting map, interesting layout. We got launch pads this time. Something we haven't seen all that much of yet today.
Yeah, that will come into the mix. Worth reminding us as well of the multiplier ×2 now. So players are really going to be wanting to get in the action, and Kairos has come in with a brawler that just does that. We saw him absolutely popping up already today as Mortis, so I thoroughly expect him to be doing the same, but he's going to have to avoid brawlers like Rosa being played by K-Manu there, and just choose his matchups wisely.
OJ, that was very rude of you.
All right, Coach Corey trying to evade the shots from Bentim, but Byron making life difficult. Corey is going to jump down, but now the gas he's got to contend with. Crying Man super ready, and is going to get the kill stolen from Bentim. I bet he won't be happy about that. That is 2 points down the drain. Meanwhile, he's still going to be fighting Bentim.
Yeah, Cryman's going to have some range to his disposal here as OJ goes head-to-head with K-Manu, and Drage comes in for the scraps, taking the power cubes and the glory. That bottom left-hand side, he's making it his home as Kairos and Tom darts. Tom comes out on top, but Drage in pursuit.
Lucas fighting Bentim here, going to dash forward. Does get the elimination, but Spen cleans him up. And don't forget, placements still very important. Tom and Drage fighting in the bottom right. Tom has the power up. He seems to have the advantage here as Drage is very weak. Drage has his shield. But is that enough? Spen charges in, just falls to Drage. Drage is on fire today.
I just do not understand how he is staying alive here, and you know, you hear the call-outs of people trying to point out that Drage is the target here, but he is just holding his own right now. He's able to cope with everything that's being thrown at him, and he's really in the worst, but he's still getting taken out. But Tom is able to come in right at the end and stop him in his tracks.
Was that just a Byron super to win the game there? I mean, why not? Why not, Ark? That was honestly another fantastic game. Specifically, a fantastic game for Drage. He is looking very strong in this finals. Is he going to win the whole thing? We'll find out soon. But first, more highlights.
You can't let Drage win.
This is so intense. Oh my god.
Oh, what's happening?
No!
Oh
my god!
No way. Wow.
You can't let Drage win, shouts Kairos, but to no avail. Drage on 34 points is looking so solid now, Ark.
The lead is being extended in a big way, and everyone else is going to have to start coming together, as it's the nature of Showdown on some level to see whether he can be stopped in his tracks. But I've got to look at his choices of brawlers here: Rosa, Edgar, Nanny, and Bees. So those will not be making an appearance in round 5. Again, the multiplier is a ×2, so I'm curious to see in particular what Drage has got in his lineup, because he has been planning this. He has definitely come very well prepared.
I believe that K-Manu and Drage are the only players, and Spen are the only players that actually have a Mr. P left in their lineup. Yeah, another interesting factor, Mr. P has been a crowd favorite here.
Yeah, very strong brawler in this. And look, Spen is going to bring out just that pick. So I now wonder, as well out the players that you mentioned there, who else is thinking the same. At the moment, it's K-Manu who's going to be going with Ruff, so he will not be. Now, let's see what Drage is bringing into the mix. That box there has been fought over by Bentim and Kairos, both playing Stu. So there's some patterns definitely emerging here as players showing very similar signs of their choices here.
Bentim is going to get away with that extra power point, though. And Kairos just with the one, unfortunately having to retreat back. In the center, K-Manu gets wiped out by Tom. Crying Man Corey also there. Yeah, seriously, a lot of Stews, a lot of Edgars in this game.
Yeah, Drage going with Crow as well, so that's going to be an interesting thing to see as Spen is dancing with him on this left-hand side. Crying Man coming in, looking to join the party. And I like the positioning there of Drage to just stay away from the interaction and not get himself between both Crying Man and Spen. And Spen now going to go down. Crying Man trying to capitalize the pop of the gadget there to try and stay longer in the mix. And yeah, I think Crying Man now is going to have met his match on that left-hand side lane.
I agree. Bentim, OJ, Lucas, Kairos all sharing a very small amount of space between them. Corey goes down. Lucas falls to Kairos. Another vital elimination. Again, don't forget, each elimination is worth 2 points now as Drage finds Crying Man and finds 2 more upgrades. Drage looking solid.
Yeah, important takedowns for Kairos, who's a front runner here for sure. So definitely, I think Coach Corey is going to be disgruntled around that kill there. It's Drage, Tom, Kairos, and Ben, Tim. OJ still in this one. 5 content creators and players remain, and the mid is closing in now. So those with range need to use it now. I'm looking noticeably at Drage here. He's got to start getting involved, or at least letting other people get involved. So we're seeing Tom and Kairos making the plays. OJ on 5 power cubes, however, capitalizing on Kairos' position here.
I mean, there was 5 people left.
Drage fighting OJ. It's just Drage left. Just Drage and Kairos. 2 of the titans of this tournament. But Drage looking so solid. Kairos with only 2 power points. He dashes in, but it's no good. Drage solidifies his lead on this leaderboard. Is there any stopping him, Ark?
At the moment, he's really popping off. There is not many rounds left to go. The multiplier is going to extend towards round 7, but at the moment, Drage is the person to beat.
He is indeed. Only 2 more rounds left, but let's take a look at some of the very best moments from round 5.
Oh, not again.
Oh,
not again. He stole the kill again.
Him. Come on.
Oh, man. That's not good. Yeah, there's just very little. Okay, we really do need to take him out, guys. It's getting serious now.
Kairos is taking this seriously, Ark. I mean, he's saying got to take it serious now, but look at this score difference. I don't even know if Kairos can catch Drage.
You know, the points are so much in Drage's favor, almost double Kairos, and that's why he's saying, come on, guys, help me out here. I'm in second. Do me a little favor. It will come back around. Look at the stews in that last round as well, and not many instances where we're going to get the chance to see him. I wonder, though, whether the Drage has been holding out on that particular brawler in a very, very strong place right now. Colonel Ruff's available to him also. But yeah, I think the content creators and players are going to have to come together because Drage is just on an absolute tear right now.
Drage also still has Mr. P. He's one of the only 2 brawlers that hasn't used Mr. P yet, the other one being Keimanu. Here we go. It's time for Clash Coliseum. And yeah, Drage is on stew. You called it correctly, Ark.
Yeah, I did wonder, and I wonder whether the last round may have inspired that decision. He gets a nice takedown on Crime and an early takedown again. Kills Matter here. Ben Tim going in on K-Manu. The deaths are flying thick and fast, and Drage is in a good spot around the mid, capitalizing on Coach Korea. Another takedown for Drage. My goodness me, that boy is on fire right now.
Yeah, no denying it. 5 power points. He's going to go and snatch that one as well from Tom. Why not? Why not make that 5-6? Pop the gadget up, and now he is going to have to do some evading because other brawlers are all over the place, and they've all got him in their sights.
It's like everyone's hunkered down together and decided, right, let's go Crow. Let everyone just go Crow and attack Drage, and Tom will collect his power cubes. But let's be honest, he got a fair amount of takedowns prior to that, and depending upon what the interactions are that follow, there may not be anyone. Well, Kairos is still in the mix, so he's in second. If he can get some kills here, he can close the gap.
In a tournament like this, the play is not to assert yourself as first place at the beginning, because then you get teamed up on. You got to just play it cool. You got to just stay a calm second, and then just outmaneuver in the last couple rounds. Drage, a little bit strong, a little bit fast. Ben Tim takes down Lucas though, and now it's just Tom and Kairos left. This is Kairos' opportunity to start to catch up, but he does only have 1 upgrade point, which means he hasn't had many eliminations this game.
Yeah, that might go against him. He may have had some, but not collected the power cubes in certain circumstances. But at the same time, Tom has got a mighty 7. Only 1 hit, and Kairos goes down. I think Kairos would have wanted to get more value out of that game. And despite Drage going out, I don't know how much of that gap is going to be closed.
I'm sure I just heard Kairos saying the words, "It's over." Maybe he's done the maths in his head. Maybe he's realized that there's no way to come back. We only have 1 round left. Round 7 coming up next. Hey, Tom's catching up with Drage, Ark. Only 17 points in it. It's not impossible. If Drage is eliminated first and Tom has a good round, it's possible for him to overtake Drage.
Yeah, I mean, Tom did really, really well that last round, and staying until the very end especially did him a lot of favors. So looking at the brawlers he's got left, definitely still some options. Stu is definitely not one that has been played from Tom, so I'm kind of expecting that he might go with that next up. But you know, Drage still right out in front. His skill and approach today has been really on form.
Can't believe how many crows we saw in that last game. Not many stews left available. I think just Keimanu, Spen, and Tom have their stews left. But hey, with Tom, that's a big deal because Tom is the player that has the shot to overtake Drage. Here we go. It's the final game. It's the Galaxy. 3 times multiplier on kills. This is it.
The Galaxy is a map that I have not heard very much at all in the Brawl Stars scene. A more elusive showdown map for sure. Drage going in with down, and Drage goes down very, very early on. So now I'm looking towards Tom. Can he catch up under this exact circumstances that you predicted, Falcone?
I wouldn't call that a prediction, just a possibility. But yeah, if Tom gets a lot of eliminations, and if Tom survives, he can actually win this. 2 eliminations, though, happening just sort of outside of his reach. He didn't have anything to do with that. However, placement score is still a factor. He doesn't need too many eliminations, just needs some.
Yeah, Kara's going out is a disaster for him, and I think he knows it. He would really have loved to have stayed on with the multiplier in play here. ×3, such an important factor, and Tom is looking good. He's got 5 power cubes now, and as playing one of the strongest brawlers in the current meta, which he's clearly been planning to hold off and save for this very moment. All eyes are really on him at the moment.
Is it going to pay off? OJ goes down to Tom! That is huge for Tom, especially if he can grab these power points and stay alive. He's going to dash forward and try and take care of Ruffs, but with a very nice gadget placement, it's not going to happen.
I'm still stressing out. Why am I stressing?
He's going to have to be very cautious here. Ben Tim is in a good spot. He's got 2 power cubes on his head, but Tom made light work of him. My goodness me. 6 power cubes now on the pickup.
Oh,
Tom! He's doing so well. Just Lucas now left.
Oh, man, dude. Tom's got this. Tick first.
I think he's done it, Ark. Especially if Tom takes down the tick.
Tom's got it easy, guys.
Honestly. Oh, Lucas
Drage was so close. But I think...
It's dancing. Lucas is doing so well. Tom gets the takedown. My goodness me. He is going to be really pleased with that performance. We're going to have to check the scoreboard to see who it was, but it's got to be one of those 2 players, surely.
And there it is. Tom, with a whopping 5-point lead, is going to be your champion. Amazing.
Oh my word, Drage is going to be raging, I would say, after that. Tom did so well. Honestly, to hold out as long as he did in that final round, it just goes to show how important that final round was. Tom can absolutely be proud of that performance, and Drage and him are going to have some beef outside of the show, I can assure you of that.
The triple multiplier certainly came in clutch for Tom there. Oh, Drage must be devastated. He fought so hard, did such a good job, but it all fell apart at the end.
I mean, Tom was flaunting the Brawl Stars Championship Trivias 2019. Now he's going to be able to have an amazing Showdown Throwdown belt to add to that on his wall. So congratulations to him. What a day.
All right, Ark, I believe next on the agenda is an interview with our champion, Tom. All right, and now a huge welcome to our champion, Tom. Firstly, congratulations. What a fierce competition. What an amazing comeback at the end. But before we talk about that, I want to ask you what your thoughts were on the format, Tom. You've competed in a lot of competitive Brawl Stars. What was it like competing in a solo showdown tournament?
Yeah, well, I actually loved it. I started playing Solo Showdown. That's where I started playing Brawl Stars, so it was good to bring me back to my roots, and I enjoyed it a lot.
I'm going to hop in, Tom. I've got to ask 2 questions. First and foremost, how do you feel to get the belt? And second of all, how long did it take you to start talking to Drage to talk us through his feelings towards you coming in and swooping at the end?
Well, yeah, if you don't know, me and Drage are great friends, so he took it well, luckily, and we were speaking straight away, but it was a super close one. Definitely so exciting to play in.
So what was your strategy when it came to brawler picks? Because obviously in that finals, you saved Stu, which a lot of us were considering the strongest brawler. You saved Stu right until the end and brought him in and made some pretty clutch plays with him. Was that always your plan, to use him for the 3 times kill multiplier?
Yeah, that was definitely my plan, to save Stu into the end, save the best brawler, and also kind of just make sure I didn't have too many points, because I wanted to kind of fly under the radar, make sure I wasn't getting targeted too much. And it seemed to work out in the end.
See, Ark, this is what I was saying to you towards the end there, because Drage was being targeted. Kairos was like, gotta take Drage down, gotta take him down. And that's how you win these things. You fly under the radar, you swoop in at the end, you get those vital kills. Was there anything else you wanted to ask, Ark?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to know, like, from your perspective, who was the best content creator and who was the best pro player? Obviously, aside from yourself, who gave you the biggest run for your money?
I think there was a lot of good content creators and a lot of good players. I couldn't really pick one. Maybe if I had to pick one, Kairos was maybe a bit underrated, I felt like. And obviously Drage played amazingly well, and he did really well. I was really unfortunate not to win, because he did like get targeted by everyone, which is it's not the best feeling for him, for sure.
Thank you so much for that, Tom. Wow, what an amazing day here at Showdown Throwdown. These were some crazy intense games of Solo Showdown today, Ark. What's your biggest takeaway from watching these games?
I mean, don't underestimate content creators, I think is a really big one to say, because ultimately, pro players are fantastically skilled, there's no doubt about it. But ultimately, if you're spending a lot of time in a game like Showdown, you know all there is to know about what you've got to do to be the best, to survive as long. And Kairos did such a great job in that finals. But at the end of the day, it came down to Drage and Tom. Tom did a fantastic job of just surviving on in that final round.
I gotta tell you, Ark, these were some really crazy games. A great show. I loved the format. I particularly loved the unique brawler rule. I think that was great. Guys, those of you watching at home, if you enjoyed the show, make sure you like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We definitely hope to be back with more events like this soon, so I sincerely hope you enjoyed. But for now, from all of the players, from the production team, from Ark, and from myself, we're wishing you a wonderful day, and we'll see you again next time.
You're done, Tom. You're done.
I know, I am.
I rolled the back.
God, please. No! What the heck? Let's get him. No!
Why'd you do that?
You could have been second.
Oh man, Lucas is in a rough place.
No!
Oh, come on!
No!
Oh,
What?
no way!
Oh,
Oh, come on. Oh, no.
Woo! Oh, man. I cannot believe how well this strategy is working out here.
that was crazy.
Oh my god. Synchronized movement.
I'm scared. Oh, the double kill. Oh, no.
Man, my heart is pumping so hard right now. Woo! This is worse than Power League. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
No.
Oh,
chicken, stay alive! No! Stay alive, chicken! No!
No!
Oh.
What's this?
At least I got a kill.
Oh my god! This is so intense, oh my god.
Oh. What's happening?
No!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wow.
Everybody was kung fu fighting!
Oh, Drake is low. Oh.
This is not great. Oh, okay.
Thank you,
the pinch.
Oh, rip. I had to help in that pinch. 1v1 situation here.
I have no idea where it is.
Drake, check the bush in the upper right corner.
Oh, Ben! No way!
Oh, what?
Wait. Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god!
I'm so glad you killed me, Ben.
That was so painful.
Wow.
That was so painful.
Wow.